guys, welcome to this video for immigration lawyers. Today I'm going to speak about how this dead simple 5-step process added 11 marriage-based green card cases to an immigration law firm in just 30 days. So this system works really well for larger immigration law firms as well as attorneys just starting out. I was able to implement this system for an immigration attorney based in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And at the time, he had just opened up his law firm. I believe he had been running it for around 11 months when I started working with him. So he was getting most of his clients from organic efforts. So what that means is most of his clients were coming in from his SEO efforts, and then he had some clients coming in from word of mouth as well as referrals. Now, that being said, what's the first step and what is this process? Let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is a screenshot from our conversion tracking software. This software is called Go High Level, and it's the one that I personally use. Again, this is the one that I'm going to be referencing throughout this video. So as you can see, our campaign got him 20 leads. From those 20 leads, we were able to book in 16 of them. From those 16, 14 people showed up, and he had a really high conversion rate. He was able to convert 11 out of 14 of those leads. Now, let's go through the hard facts. The legal market is more competitive than ever, with countless other law firms trying for the same clients, making it difficult to stand out and get noticed. In order to grow your firm, you need to generate predictable high-quality leads, but between managing your cases and running your practice, there's little time to focus on marketing and actually scale your law firm like a business. And lastly, many law firms invest in websites, social media, or blogs, but the results are often inconsistent, leaving firms struggling to find the right approach. Now, I'm sure you've tried a bunch of different things like blogs, website SEO, Google ads, Facebook ads, cold emails, and TikTok is also now becoming more prevalent in the legal landscape. I'm sure you've also tried posting on social media and getting no consults, spending thousands on ads and getting flaky leads that either can't afford your service or are low-level clients. Your best business still comes from word of mouth or referrals, but isn't as consistent as you would like it to be. And then you may have hired or are considering to hire an agency at some point, but you obviously don't want to pay them a monthly fee or a retainer for something that isn't guaranteed. Now, before I get into the system, who am I exactly? So my name is Huston, and I actually started off working with family lawyers across the US and Canada for the last 2 years. But because of that, I was able to test the system out, which I fine-tuned and implemented throughout my entire agency for immigration lawyers. I've lived in 4 different countries throughout my life, but my education as well as my 9 to 5 led me to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where I'm based now. For my 9 to 5, I was actually working at this insurance company called Chubb Insurance. So I actually had a lot of experience working with lawyers and having insightful conversations with them to kind of understand the legal landscape, which kind of pushed me to build a sustainable marketing system that lawyers could actually use. Now, the system that I'm going to show you today has helped me scale 16 family law firms and 12 immigration law firms in the last year. So let's get into it. How did I help an immigration lawyer add 11 marriage-based green card cases to his law firm in just 30 days? What is that simple process? Let me show you guys. So what would be your first step? The first step you need to do is you need to create a unique market communication angle, specifically based on the region you're in and the ideal client profile you're targeting. Now, we have a set of proven offers that we've used for immigration attorneys, but you want to start here because it's the base of everything you do moving forward. Now, you need to understand who your ideal client profile is. So what that essentially means is you need to understand their demographics, their interests, their age, and the specific messaging that you need to craft in order to resonate with them directly. Okay. And that starts by doing a deep dive into who you're targeting. Once you do that, you also need to understand what's working in the market and what's not working in the market. When you run paid ads, you need to back every single decision you make with research because you can't be burning money every single day, right? So again, you should do a competitor analysis using tools like Google Ads Library or Google or Facebook Transparency Center. Again, it depends on the specific platform you're using, but you need to do your due diligence when it comes to what other people are doing in the area, what other firms are doing in the area, and what's working for them. Now, once you're done with that, you need to essentially craft a unique and irresistible offer. So we do this for all of the clients we work with. The main goal is to eliminate competition, track your dream cases, and most importantly, be seen as the go-to lawyer in your specific area because that essentially supplements your organic growth. So when you get clients and you do a good job for them, they will obviously supplement your word of mouth and your referral rate because they're going to be letting other people know that you're a good lawyer, right? So again, that's the main goal. You want to become that specific lawyer for that specific region. Now, when you do your research, you need to align with your ideal client profile's goals, dreams, desires, and you can do this by understanding their pain points and what they're searching for, what's stressing them out, and what do you need to leverage in order to essentially get them to click on your website, get them to learn more about your firm. And again, the main goal is to create a high demand for your service while creating market fit. So what I mean by that is different offers work for different markets. I've seen free consults work well. I've seen payment plans work well, even though a lot of lawyers don't like to take those on. I've seen flat fees work well. So again, different offers work for different areas, and you need to do your due diligence before you start running ads. And you also need to understand what angles you need to take before you start running ads. So again, we do all of that first part for you completely. And once that part's done, we move on to the second step. The second step is to essentially create tailored campaigns to generate massive and engaged awareness in the offer that you've just built. You can do this through two acquisition channels. The first one's Meta, which is also known as Facebook and Instagram. And then the second one is called Google. There's a few more coming into play like LinkedIn, but those aren't as developed. So if you're new to marketing, I would recommend picking either Facebook or Google. Now, what you want from both platforms is completely different. Google is where you want to be because it's more intent based. Whenever someone's Googling something, they're always looking for that solution actively. You're a very intentional customer when you're doing that. So if someone's searching for an immigration law service, whether it's a work visa or a marriage petition, they're actively in the market searching for it. And it's your job to capture their attention. Right. So that's where you start. You want to understand the acquisition channel. We then also create tailored persuasive ad copy that engages. Now, this part is super crucial because there's an emotional aspect to every area of law. And you need to understand how to leverage that in your ad copy. You need to understand how to outline your offer. You need to understand how to say what they're searching back to them. Like a great example is this. So this ad copy did really well for one of our campaigns, marriage immigration lawyer. Now that is what people usually search for. People aren't really familiar with the area of immigration law. So you need to kind of mimic or replicate what they're searching and use that in your ad copy so it speaks directly to them. And also you obviously need to throw in your offer as well. But again, we do all that for you. Once someone clicks on your ad, we take them to a custom landing page that we build for maximum conversions. Okay. Now, this is also crucial because there's a big difference between a website and a landing page. A website is essentially the reason why a lot of people don't convert, believe it or not, because what a website does is it causes something we call cognitive overload. So when someone goes on your website, let's say they click on your ad on Google and then they go on your website, and if you just have a lot of information, if you have a lot of blogs, if you have a lot of text, they get super overwhelmed, and that increases bounce rate. So they just bounce off of the website because there's too much going on, and people don't really have that long of an attention span in today's time. So what you want to do is you want to build a landing page similar to this. You know, outline the CTA, which is a call to action, right in front of their face as soon as they jump on that landing page, because that's what they're looking for. They're just looking to speak to someone. They don't really care about reading too much text. So you want to make it super basic, and you want to make sure that your headline uses simple words as well. Now, once that's done, you also need to set up conversion track. This is something a lot of people miss, and it could realistically be the most important part of this entire system. So what I essentially mean by conversion tracking is there's two ways people will reach out to you when they come on your landing page, they click on your ad. They're either going to call you. So there's usually a phone number, as you can see over here, just top right, or in this case, there's one over here as well. But if they click get a quote, or they just book an appointment directly and fill out a lead form. So again, two ways. They either call directly, or the second way is they give you their information for you to call. Either way, you as an owner operator need to understand and measure what's going on. So you can use Google Sheets, Google Ads, Facebook Pixel, Google Ads conversion tools, as well as Zapier. But again, you need to understand how many clicks you're getting. Out of those clicks, how many of those clicks are becoming leads? From those leads, how many of those leads are actually showing up to the consults? From those consults, how many people are you actually converting? Okay, this is all data that you're getting, and this is all data that allows you to go back to the drawing board and essentially refine your strategy and get better month by month. And the reason why we do this for all of our clients is for three different reasons. The first one is client differentiation. What that essentially means is that you need to know as an owner operator how much traffic you're getting from organic growth. So again, organic is SEO, word of mouth referrals, and how much growth, how much traffic, how many clients are you really getting from paid growth? Because it allows you to see where most of the revenue is coming in from your business, and then you can double down on whatever's working more. The second reason why is because it allows us, or the company you're working with, or if you're doing this yourself, it allows you to adopt a quantitative approach. And what that essentially means is you leverage all of the data I just spoke about, and you can essentially see where the bottleneck is when it comes to converting your clients or converting your leads or not getting enough leads. And all in all, it's just a lot of data that you have that you need to be leveraging. And the last one is called ROI. And what that essentially means is you need to know what your return on investment is with a specific company you work with, or if you're running it yourself, you need to understand what your ROI is with the ads that you invest. So again, like you need to have something set up where you can transparently see all of that information at the end of every month and see what you need to fix and refine. Now, once that's done, the last part of our infrastructure leverages an appointment setter as well as automated systems. Now, when someone shows interest in your ad, like I mentioned before, they're either going to fill out a lead form or they're going to call the number provided directly. In both cases, they're going to get in touch with an appointment setter. Now, the appointment setter that we implement into law firms, they are trained to convert legal leads. So in this case, they're trained to convert legal immigration law leads, and their main role is to contact them within 5 minutes. Now, that's super crucial because the speed to lead problem is why most law firms miss out on thousands of dollars every single month. I was able to double an immigration law firm's consults in a single month by implementing an intaker that called the lead within 60 seconds. That's all I did. We ran the same ads, ran the same landing pages, but by fixing the speed to lead problem, we were able to increase their conversion rate, increase their booking rate, increase their show up rate. And what they're going to do is they're going to nurture and qualify the lead for you. So by the time you speak to them, you know what their petition type is, their immigration status and history, their urgency and timing, as well as you'll also have a good understanding of their financial capability. So you can't be wasting time speaking to people that can't afford your service. And the appointment setter is going to be addressing all of this in their initial call. So once the appointment setter speaks to them, we're going to have access to your calendar system. So whether it's My Case or Clio, or if you're new and you're using Calendly as well, we can also work with that. And all you'll have to essentially do is engage the case. So the appointment setter is going to do everything else that comes before that. They're going to be following up with them via SMS and voicemail. And they're also going to be using what we call a personal diagnosis to increase show up rate. So if someone isn't picking the phone up, there's a 7 to 12 day follow-up routine that the appointment setter has in order to get them on the phone. We've used this across multiple different law firms, across multiple different areas, and that's the key to having a comprehensive system that's getting you an influx of leads every single month. Now, the second part of the intake system are all of the automations we set up in the back end. So when you run ad campaigns, as I mentioned before, you will get bad leads. A lot of marketing gurus and marketing companies act like it's all rainbows and butterflies, but when you run campaigns, you will get bad leads. That's just the name of the game. But the way we go about it is we put all of those bad leads in a bucket and we let our automations do the rest. So what is a bad lead? A bad lead is either A, someone that isn't picking the phone up, or B, someone that isn't ready to convert yet. So we put all those people in a bucket and we let our automated system do the rest. So they're going to be consistently following up with them, nurturing them and qualifying them in the background. And their main goal is going to be to try to get them on the phone with our appointment setter, who's then going to speak to them and qualify them. Again, we're going to have access to the calendar system, so they'll just book them into your calendar. And all you have to do is engage the case. Now, the last part of our automated systems is to leverage them to get you Google reviews. Now, Google reviews may not be important today. They might not be important tomorrow. But when you're scaling your law firm in the long term, they're crucial. And we know exactly what types of questions to ask and how to get reviews that actually tell a story and can actually help with your conversion rate. And there's a lot that you can do with your reviews. You can send them to your leads before they book in with a consult to nurture them and qualify them. You can post them on your landing pages to increase conversion rate. So again, we have automated systems that are just going to be following up with cases you've closed, with clients that have their cases closed, and we have systems in place to get you those Google reviews. Again, super crucial. You need those for your law firm. So just to summarize what we discussed in this video, our solution creates a comprehensive case acquisition system that handles everything from building your offer to nurturing and qualifying the lead. We start off by creating that unique market angle for you, doing the research on your ideal client profile and understanding what their pain points are and how to leverage the emotional aspect of immigration law to essentially get you more leads on a month-to-month basis. We also create the ad copy as well as the landing pages. And again, we leverage all of the data, all of the research we've done to understand your market. And lastly, we also nurture and qualify all of the leads that we're generating. So you only speak to the leads that are high quality and that you're able to convert on the call. So all you have to do at the end is engage the case, and we're going to be handling the rest. So yeah, that's everything from A to Z. If you've booked a call with me, I'm super excited to speak to you and essentially expand on everything I've discussed in this video. So I'll speak to you soon.